Hi, this is James Headley. Welcome back to the Living in Savannah channel. Earlier this week, I was fortunate to assist repeat clients with the sale of one of their homes. Despite what you might be seeing and hearing about the slowdown in the housing markets in national news reports, and even going beyond my often repeated phrases here on the channel of stabilization and the new normal repricing levels, we were able to secure multiple offers on the home and sell it for both above the asking price and well above my seller's expectations of what they were going to get for the home. So today I'm going to talk about some of the factors that I believe allowed us to do that, and it's certainly not a one-off instance. Every home, every sale, and perhaps most importantly, every client's situation is different and unique. So this is in no way a guarantee of similar results for you, but I do think that if you ensure that you are giving yourself every chance to have the best possible result when you decide to sell your home, that's going to increase your odds of doing so very significantly. So as always, thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And now on to my 6 keys for selling your home at the best price possible. First, make sure that you're doing the basics well. Professional photos and actually engaging in informative description of the property, community, etc. These are things that are relatively easy to do well, in my opinion, although there are lots of instances out there where you'll see that they aren't necessarily being done well. So ensure that you're getting this basic blocking and tackling right, because the impact can be very significant. Just as one example, as I'm on the other side of things with buyers, if I see less than professional photos, maybe the camera phone photos, it tends to be a situation where I think that my buyers and I are going to be able to negotiate a little bit better, because there aren't going to be as many folks who were interested in the home or saw the home because it just didn't pop as well and didn't stand out in the way that it could have. And again, it's a very basic thing, but make sure that those basics are being done well. Number 2, make sure that everyone that should see your home sees it, and sees it in the best possible light. Professional photos coming soon is a phrase that we'll see every now and then in a listing, and pre-listing office exclusives are another example of tactics or situations that I just don't think are in sellers' best interests, in my opinion at least. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and in the case of the office exclusive, is it more likely that one of my colleagues has a buyer that's going to make the best offer versus hundreds or even thousands of other agents out there in the area, and or millions of unrepresented buyers who are out searching on sites like Zillow and Realtor.com? I just don't think there's any downside to getting the house out there to as many people as possible in the best possible way initially. Brings me to number 3. And this is going beyond the basics that essentially any agent, even a limited services agent, is going to be able to provide you, hopefully well. The things like number 1 and number 2. And that's, what are they doing above and beyond that? What are they doing to get your home in front of even more prospective buyers, and to do so in a way that's going to be appealing to them? And I'll just use YouTube as an example. I mean, you're here, and so are many others, and so that's an opportunity to reach some folks that might not otherwise be reached. And I can certainly provide you with lots of anecdotal examples of people who found particular homes, particular communities that I have featured on the channel as a result of those interactions. Number 4, which is related to that last point, and that's make sure that you're doing what sells homes at top dollar today, not what did so years ago, or what looks flashy. For example, here I would just focus on digital versus print. Thinking about who's most likely to purchase your home. Is it going to be a neighbor down the street, or is it going to be someone who's from out of the area? And going a little bit farther, let's think about a brochure. How many wonderful fancy brochures are printed every day for homes and for listings? Well, think about your own experience. The last time that you were out home shopping, when did you see a brochure? You saw it likely when you walked into an open house or when you went to a showing. Well, at that point, are you going to spend your time with your head down in a print brochure, or are you going to actually look around the home and see what it's all about and check out the community around it? I'd hazard a guess to say that you're not buying a house based upon that brochure. You're going to buy the house based upon being inside of it, and you're not seeing that brochure until you're inside of it in most cases. So just one example there, but that focus on who the real target audience is and the best way to reach them is something that I think you should really be considering. Number 5, negotiation. Make sure that you are comfortable with whomever is negotiating the sale for yourself. The experience and background of the individual, their commitment to you and to focusing on your home and getting the best dollar for your home. In some cases that can mean, is that agent overtaxed? Are they looking to do this as a quantity business, or are they really committed to each and every individual client and looking to get top dollar for you? And that brings us to number 6, which is related a bit to number 5, and that's how confident do you feel, make sure that you feel confident in the strategic sales approach of the individual. And I'll give you an example here, again, referring back to that recent sale, but I'm amazed at the number of times in my career that I have had a showing scheduled for a home, representing buyers, and found out via an automatic update from the MLS from showing time that the home had gone under contract. So if you've got a showing for 2 o'clock this afternoon and it's 10 o'clock and you find out the home's gone under contract that way. It's amazing to me because, going back to this example of the home that just sold, we actually we had a contract, I should say, that was presented to us. And I had 2 additional showings that were scheduled for later that afternoon. So I immediately reached out to the agents who had those showings scheduled, told them that was what was happening, so that they knew that they were on a little tighter time schedule if their clients were interested and if they wanted to make an offer on the home, and knowing that there was another offer out there that was solid, that they needed to come in with a strong offer. In the end, great result for the clients. One of those later agents who had a showing that afternoon was ultimately the agent who represented the buyer in that sale. And we got a better price than we would have otherwise. If that's not necessarily the case going on, that's just one example. But make sure that you feel confident that the strategy of the agent that you're working with is in your best interest. As always, I'm happy to discuss your particular circumstances if you're thinking about selling a home or if you're looking to buy. Please do reach out anytime, and we can start a discussion from there. And in the meantime, I appreciate you liking, subscribing, and sharing, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care.